For today's video, we are revisiting the Ezreal control list. This is the one where you're trying to essentially OTK with Ezreal. It also runs the Elnuk package, which just makes me kind of shudder inside. I'm not really a fan of the card anymore at this point, but people have asked for some more games, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go play 2 games, win or lose, and we're going to give it the best shot we can, but I have to admit, if I go 0-2, I'm really not going to be disappointed. I'm just a bit over Elnuks. It's not even that they're rampant on the ladder. I just feel like the overall design of the card is not in a great spot. And I've talked about that in the past. I'll try not to be a dead Elnuk here. But I'm just trying to fill airtime while we wait for me to get matched up with somebody. And we get matched up against a friend. Please don't hack me on the Thresh Karma control. And of course I replace an Elnuk with an Elnuk. RIP. Can you imagine how degenerate the Elnuk package would be if we had cards that let you have almost like rummage style effects, but instead you were shuffling things back in instead of discarding them? Like you just shuffled the Elnuks back. Man can dream. I got a feeling we're gonna have a bit of a standoff here. He's very likely on some sort of kind of insane, crazy combo deck, because that's just what Please Don't Hack Me does. And we're going to be very ill prepared for it. Glad to see somebody else that's not me playing Warden's Prey, though. That card has been growing on me quite a bit. Alright, so they play the Skitterer, which means that we're not going to consider the Marksman. We just slam this and try to thin our list a bit. And we whiff! Like, rather spectacularly we whiff. So the primary reason we're doing this, knowing that they're just going to block with this Thresh, is we were kind of hoping they were going to put this here to put damage on it and then maybe try to Challenger here. But with 3 damage on it, that becomes capable of being hit by Brittle Steel. We haven't targeted a single thing yet. Our poor Ezreal. I guess having this Elnuk isn't too bad when the other one whiffed as hard as it did. They're up to 9, so even if we get a big troop this time around, Ruination is a thing. I suppose if they Ruination and eat their own Thresh and just eat our Elnuks, I'm also okay with that.
No, nothing that simple.
So there's the Brittle Steel that we were hoping for. And Ezreal got his first target. I'm so proud. Alright, so he's on the Mist's Call Karma shenanigans. The entire premise of this deck is to play a bajillion karmas, for the record. Like, you let one die so that you can start bringing it back with Rekindler. Thresh, if it levels, gets to...
Knocked and ready.
You know, potentially pull them out of your deck. Like, it just plays a million of them and then you just win in one turn. It's a sweet OTK deck, and it's better positioned than our own. We've got no chip damage in. Ezreal is a million years away from leveling. Like, this is already a very unfavored matchup for us.
Winter take you.
We don't have big board sweeps like they do, so when they do pull off their combo, we don't really get the neat ways to stop it. Do this. Uh-oh. Brief moment where I was potentially disconnecting there. Alright, so box is going to hit these two. Not bad, not bad. Gotta put him really close to leveling, right? 5 of 6.
There's a scent in the air.
I mean, I guess we'll do this just to get the target on the Ezreal. We could also hit this, but the reality is this is just going to end up... This is just going to end up leveling, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, this game is so effectively over. The only way we could stop this thing would be, like, with a thermogenic beam. And then he would probably just play another one.
There it is. Gotcha.
This list also has a ton of ways to gain health. So even if we could burst them down from 20, we would have to wait till they're almost out of mana. Is this going to just be another box?
To the next level.
Alright, so the Thresh levels up. Again, there was really no way we were going to stop that. When Thresh attacks, they get another karma. I'll be honest, if I was playing this just in my spare time on the ladder, I would have just conceded by now, but we are going to play this out because you'll get to see the top end of this. So like when this deck works, it really works. Like it just goes nuts, bonkers, right? So now they get to swing with Thresh. Thresh will pull out a second karma from their deck. From this point on, because karmas have died, like Rekindler does some pretty disgusting things for them as well. Wow, he didn't take it, huh? I'm a little surprised by that.
Try me.
Nobody escapes.
So we have our Ezreal. We have the Rummage. If we can get some Chump Wumps up, Progress Day, some chip damage in, we have a shot.
The dark beckons.
We really need some card draw, though. So the Karma's gonna go Enlightened.
Peace begins within.
Alright, there's our Progress Day.
My path.
This is problematic,
An
but
open
at least we have
heart
the
teaches
Harsh
more than
Winds.
Open eyes.
However, we can't Progress Day and Harsh Winds that. And we really need to play this Progress Day, so I think we just do it. Hope that we draw a different Frostbite effect. Or just a cheaper Harsh Winds. So this is fine.
Any last words?
Ionia speaks through me.
There won't be a warning shot.
So again, we're likely just dead here. Yep. This will be a buff spell. Oh, it's just Withering Wail. It's just Withering Wail. They go to full health. This is what I was talking about with the healing, right? So the issue is once Karmas are online, they can basically reset their health to full whenever they want. So even if we have our Ezreal combo like up and running, you have to do it with all burst spells. Like we need
Check me out! Don't blink or you miss me.
this will just be something removing Ezreal. That's the wrong Mystic Shot. Not that it really matters, though.
I know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe speed things up a little?
Alright. It doesn't really matter here. We won't ever be able to keep an Ezreal down. Our one Progress Day didn't give us enough in terms of other effects. So we'll just never have enough burst speed spells to ever nuke the Nexus hard enough. And it has to be specifically at burst speed. But also at this point, like, we can't even stop the open attack really this next turn. I mean, we have Harsh Winds, but a single buff spell, like a single Mark of the Isles, and they win. So we do this. We play Ezreal, they nuke our Ezreal, and then the game's over. But we have to play Ezreal here, hoping that they don't have an answer. And then when we come back to our turn, we rummage and then pray that you find something. But again, they will have an answer for Ezreal here. Like, it's impossible that they don't. Like I said, I would have just conceded this a long time ago. But we're going to go through the motions. Well, those did not help at all.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
Hey, look. They heal back to full. Like I said, it has to be at burst speed. 13 cards left. 3 of them are Chump Wump. I think like 2 of them are Progress Days. I mean, we can deal 9 damage to them.
Sure.
And it's another kid excited. Because why wouldn't it be? Alright. This one wasn't even close. Hey, look! More ways for them to gain health.
No firing.
So, yeah, against that particular deck, your path to victory is kind of hard, right? Like, you're pretty unfavored because they have a lot of fast speed healing and potentially even burst speed if they run healing potion. So what you hope for in that matchup, one, your first Elnuk probably needs to pull at least 3 bodies, and we whiffed ours, but it needs to put enough pressure that you get chip damage in. And then 2, you really need to hit your Ezreal before Karma comes online, which is incredibly difficult in that matchup because they're not playing a lot of bodies for you to target with things. But you have to pressure them early. Of course, naturally, we run into another Karma list. But yeah, you need this to land, like, pretty significantly. I guess we just really wanted a Harsh Winds. You need to hit your Ezreal, and then when Ezreal comes down, it's ideally in a position where you've got a lot of burst speed spells already in your hand. We had 0 Chump Wumps played. Chump Wump on 4 is great because it's a body that helps you pressure and it gives you those burst speed spells that we just did not have. So if you can get them in the 10 to 12 range and then set yourself up so that you can just play Ezreal and win without them being able to respond, then you have a shot. Otherwise, these Karma lists will just beat you. And unfortunately, this one's not running Thrush, but this is the exact same deck again. So at least now we have a Chump Wump. But this is going to be another marathon slog that if I was not recording for YouTube, I would give it a bit of the early game go here, and then I would likely just concede. I actually think playing this without even targeting something is probably the right play.
Tell me where to aim.
Because I think pressuring is very relevant. We do have the Wump, but our hand is relatively full for now, so we'll just play the Elnuk. Next turn, even if they full pass, they'll only be at 8, so it's not quite ruination time. Wow, that 8 of Vengeance? Not even upset. All right, so cross your fingers. That's the RNG you're looking for. This is like the only way you win this matchup, so. It feels dirty. You hate winning and losing games based on coin flips, essentially. All right, so the whale takes care of the one. Heals them back to full. But at least that's one whale that they're not playing with their karma, you know? And then we get to pressure them with the damage that we were looking for. Progress day is very nice here as well.
None disturb my meditation.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we do not overdraw if we play the progress day. But I still feel like doing this is just better. Just give ourselves bodies for the open attack. You just shut this down. We'll cycle the static shock.
Is clear.
And then bank our 3 spell mana. You know what? We're actually not even going to bank our 3 spell mana. We don't even want them to gain the health here. So we're going to use our beam to just nuke this because they don't have the ability to respond. Saves our Mystic Shot for potentially targeting the Nexus, but being able to go, yeah, into open attack and then pressure. So it's kind of nice because I was just talking about like the things that you need in order to beat that deck because it's not a favored matchup, and then we got the thing, but it feels really dirty. You know, that's the reason that I don't like Elnuks. That victory doesn't feel skillful. You know what I mean? The ceiling is so high where sometimes you just kind of auto win games by accident. You know, for a 5 mana investment and only 6 cards in your deck, that's not a lot of... It's not a lot of investment to pull something like that off. And even if it only happens like 1 or 2% of the time, like to put this in context, right? If, you know, Karthus in League of Legends was designed in such a way that, you know, maybe 1 in every 5 or 6 casts, he barely tickles the enemy team, but like 1 in every 100, you know, maybe twice every 100 casts, Karthus auto deletes the entire enemy team. League players would hate that. And if that was ever something that decided a game like on a world championship stage, right, at Worlds, or even just, you know, during the LCS or something like that, you would have a lot of people talking about how it's ridiculous and it doesn't belong in a game like that. And now I get that variance is a natural part of card games. I'm a very pro good RNG kind of person, but that's kind of the way Elnuks feel. When you whiff on them, it certainly feels bad, but it doesn't feel so bad that like you can't climb out of that hole. But when you get the other end of the spectrum, like I just had, it just kind of feels like I won by accident on turn 5, right? You know, I pulled the slot machine and got the result. But anyway, that's what you're looking for in that matchup. If you're playing against these Karma control decks and you're piloting Ezreal, you need a strong early game. You got to pressure, and then, as I was saying before, then when you land your Ezreal, you got to hope that you've got enough burst speed spells that you can just win before they get the opportunity to respond. So if you made it this far and you're still listening to me rant, I appreciate you. Thank you. And, you know, hopefully you'll stick around, watch some more videos. I haven't really found a good sign-off yet. You know, all the folks who still watch me from the Elder Scrolls Legends know for many, many years I would end videos with, you know, may you walk on warm sands. I don't know what my Runeterra equivalent is going to be yet. We need to come up with something. I need to look through voice lines within the game, see what catches my eye. If you're one of those people that made it this far, if you're still listening to me, I don't know why you would be, you know, make some suggestions. What are some Runeterra voice lines that we could use as a sign-off? Let me know. But I appreciate you. I love you all. Till next time, make sure you have fun on the ladder.